Hey, my Get the Pen family. I hope this video finds you well. Thank you so much for connecting with me in this moment for Get the Pen moment. My name is Janine Folks at getthepen.net, and I just wanted to take a moment to share some words of encouragement to encourage you during this tumultuous hour. If you've been watching the news or if you're aware of different things that are taking place right now, it could raise your anxiety, it could raise your eyebrows, it could raise a lot of things, concerns, fears, all of that. But I just wanted to remind you to stay grounded, stay at peace, stay grounded, remember who you are, remember who God is. And sometimes we just have to sit back and watch and let God talk. We be quiet, let God speak. And that's where I am right now. And that's not to say I don't care. That's not to say that I don't think my voice should be heard or opinions expressed. I just don't feel like it's the time right now. But what it is time for is for us to focus on self improvement, self development, uh, implementing things that will improve our quality of life, learning more, doing more, coming up with strategies, focusing on goals that will sustain us, that will um, give us reassurance for our livelihood, for our income, for our resources and provision. So it's time to just start thinking about what we need and how to secure what we need. We know that ultimately God is our provider, that He is our source. God is source. God is love. That everything we need, He will supply. He said, all my needs are met according to His riches and glory in Christ Jesus. And I stand on that, that my needs will always be met, that God is my provider, even when I struggle, even when I come up short financially and otherwise, when I don't have enough. If God hasn't provided something that I need, then it wasn't to be had in that moment. But that just means I'll go back to the drawing board and come up with another plan, another route to get to where I need to go. And sometimes we need that other route because there's something else that we need to see along that other path that we would not have seen on the path that we were on. So sometimes we get redirected for a reason. And I know it's frustrating and it can be disappointing when things blow up in our face or don't work out the way we hoped. We feel like something has failed or that God didn't come through for us. But what we have to realize is that God's always going to come through. I've been old and I've been young, but I've never seen the righteous forsaken nor his seed begging for bread. And he's not about to start with you. He's not about to start forsaking us now. And when things happen that hurt us and that disappoint us, we have to understand that sometimes God has to reroute us for a reason, and usually it is to spare us, to preserve us, to keep us safe, or to teach us. It could be to show us something else that we didn't even know we needed to learn. So we have to learn to trust God in everything, in the disappointments, in the failures. When things don't work out, we still have to continue to trust and hold on to our faith, hold on to our peace, and hold on to our hope. So we have to keep the faith, and all the frustration and the pain that we feel or that we see, things that we're surrounded by, we just need to transmute that into power, transmute our pain into purpose, and that is in self improvement, making ourselves better, learning more. And I can't stress that enough. As we expand ourselves, our minds, our knowledge, our wisdom, our spirituality, our emotional stamina, because we're going to need all of that in the days to come. We're going to need to be stable emotionally. We're going to need to be able to provide for ourselves. So we need strategies for that. Of course, we need God and He is going to bless us, but we also need to be wise and we need to be aware of everything. And I know sometimes I want to put my head in the sand and not watch the news and to stay oblivious to the madness, but we need to be aware. And being aware of things does not mean we have to absorb those things. There are things we need to know so we know how to combat those things, how to keep them out of our sphere, how to protect ourselves. And you can't protect yourself from what you're not aware of. So just be mindful and careful and guarded when we're watching things, when we're hearing things, when we're reading things, when we're seeing things, to pray for a covering over our minds, to guard our minds, to guard our hearts so that these things won't affect our energy, our vibration. Because some things can lower you, some things can cause you to feel depressed and hopeless and cause you to have negative feelings, and we want to combat that. We want to be grounded and take everything with a grain of salt. And I've said that before. Take everything with a grain of salt because only God knows, and we have to trust His plan, even when we can't see it and don't know it. Some see it, some feel it, and we just have to brace ourselves and gird up and just stay connected to God, stay connected to our source, and know that He is going to keep you in all of your ways. I've said this before. Revisit Psalm 91. Read it over and over until you feel so confident, till you feel so secure, till you know that God has your back no matter what. And remind yourself and reinforce those words from the Lord that promise to keep you in all of your ways, the promises of protection, the promises of safety, because only God can. There's no human that can guarantee us anything. So we look to the hills from whence cometh our help. Our help comes from the Lord. This has been a Get the Pen moment, and you be blessed.